not invited to any weddings, parties, communions, baptisms, your name falls off. It's bad.
Well, my Palestinian Christian friend married my Palestinian Muslim cousin, and it was a struggle in the beginning, but like her family gave her a hard time, but now it's normal, and they do things in the church. She baptized her children. All of her children are baptized.
See, that's different. If you allow the baptism of the children, this is a loophole.
Yeah, I was about to say, the fact that they baptize the children makes, like...
Usually when you marry a Muslim guy, that is unheard of. You would never allow the baptism.
But also, I mean, they're Muslim, like my family practices Muslim, but
yeah, but your kids
her
are Catholics. They're baptized.
No, they're Orthodox.
Oh, they're Orthodox, whatever. They're baptized. Yeah. They're Christians. Period.
But even though they're
baptized, they're so against it. They get so disgusted.
But even though they're baptized, they also went to an Islamic school.
That's not confusing. I wonder how those kids are
going to turn out.
Inshallah, fine.
Yeah, they went to Islamic school.
What
yeah, like I would never allow that.
Are they teaching their children to worship
Christ? She doesn't. So she doesn't believe. So she's an Orthodox Christian, but she doesn't believe Jesus is God.
It doesn't matter what she believes. What does her husband believe?
She doesn't believe Jesus.
Oh, her husband is Muslim?
She probably just started
believing that.
Married a Muslim.
You're telling me your cousin, who's a Muslim, comes from a Muslim Palestinian family, married a Christian. So you're telling me the Christian converted to Islam?
No.
Exactly.
No. She's an Orthodox Christian.
What
she baptized her children.
What is he? I don't care. What is he? What is the man?
He's
no longer a Christian.
Okay, so he converted.
No, he didn't
convert. Apparently.
Neither of them converted.
What do you mean? She's coming. Hey, Pearl, shut up for a second. Just let me understand this. Because you're telling me your cousin isn't a Christian originally.
He's Muslim.
Okay, she's a Muslim. She's a Muslim. Her husband
is what? No, my cousin is a guy.
Okay,
her cousin.
My cousin's the guy.
Your cousin married a Christian woman. So
Palestinian Christian woman.
So what?
I'm giving an example of what Pearl's talking about.
Yeah, no.
Pearl's saying, but they're involved in the church and
if a Chaldean man married a Muslim woman and she converted, or the children were at least they wouldn't have that much problem. The other way around.
Her dad. Yeah, they're all Muslim. He will not be invited to the party.
What? The girl is a Christian. My cousin is a male.
No, I'm saying that even if they converted, I'm talking like I'm just saying, even if they converted, they're not problem. Big problem.
You're so tribal.
No, I don't care. Muslims would be invited to my wedding. All the people.
But I just want everybody to remember, Pearl said
I would have plenty of Muslims at my wedding, but they wouldn't be family. It's different.
So I just want y'all to just remember, Pearl. Hold on, Pearl. I want to say something that you said. You said there was an honor killing from a Chaldean for dating a Muslim guy in the 80s. I don't want everybody to ever associate this thing with Islam ever again. Anybody in this room?
Yeah, exactly.
Everyone can say that.
Yeah, but of course they were Arabized. They got that influence and shit.
But that's not an Islamic concept. Like,
I mean, honor killing doesn't really. Most of the cases don't happen because someone married someone outside of their religion because they're whoring around or something.
But it's taken very seriously. That was my point.
So it's about the honor of the family. Like,
yeah.
If your daughter is going around and she's sleeping with guys.
Wait. Cynic. You think that's acceptable to do?
It's not acceptable. Even fornication. The Sharia does not allow fornication to be a death penalty. Like, even if you were hoeing around, doesn't give you the right to go kill that person. So that person under Sharia Islam would be killed if you go and you exact that.
It's not about the hoeing. It's about the fact that you're Muslim.
Okay, so I'm going to come from an outside perspective, but you can look at in Corsica, just look at the homicide rate. It was the murder capital of Europe 2010s, but if you look back in like the 1700s, 1600s, it's like a third of their population was wiped out because of blood feuds. Now, I mean, somewhat of an honor shame society. I do think that, like, I'm not like as barbaric as it sounds. It's not. Excuse me, Christian of me. I mean, I would like absolutely enforce like certain behaviors. Like, I would make it known that like women in my family cannot. They can't be with Muslims. They can't do a lot of shit.
I mean, most people feel like that, but they just wouldn't say. But at the same time, honestly, like in places like New York, that veil really lifts because it's New York, and because Arabic guys treat better than anybody else. Unfortunately, they do. Like, we could play around. We could say Mabad of shoe, they're tough, they're bullheaded, they're this, they're that. But at the end of the day, Pepe, nobody treats you like an Arabic guy. Very high on a pedestal, and they spoil you a lot. That's my experience. And it really doesn't matter if they're Muslim or Christian. If they like a girl, they'll move mountains. It doesn't matter. And if you just don't get that type of obsession type from typical American relationships. The typical American, nothing stirs them, their soul. You know, they're just like there, just, you know. It's not the same. It's a little different. It's a different passion. They're not so, you know, it's not so involved. Like if there's someone in our community that looks right away, they want to meet your parents, they want to do all these things and make all these plans, etc. White guys, they'll date you for 3 years. White men think it's appropriate to date a girl for 3 years, 4 years. To live with a girl, that's disgusting. What's wrong with you?
I agree. Like, and she's. So when that happens, she's not your wife, and so, like her having that obligation, her feeling like she has that obligation is not going to be there, but you didn't marry her.
That's not true, Pepe. The dishes still have to get done. The floor has to be mopped.
Okay, I'm talking. Okay, like
Fury.
Okay, but when it comes to like my exes and myself, like it's not the case. Like, we weren't married. And the women I've been in close relationships were also like Catholic. Obviously they were not practicing. But like it wasn't. No, we didn't assign their
Catholic behavior. They don't care. If they're white, they'll move in together. It's normal.
Sure, but well, to be fair, if we're to get a blessing by the Catholic Church and to have them actually allow us to be married, you'd have to lie through your teeth, or you'd have to like literally correct your behavior and no longer cohabitate with them.
Oh, lying in the church to a priest, that's not a sin. That's a great way to start off a marriage.
Well, obviously. Obviously, I'm not advocating for that.
You sure?
Oh no, absolutely not. I mean, I'm absolutely not doing that. I'm saying that, I was never, excuse me, goddamn hiccups. I was never married, so like, but I do know that if you're cohabitating with a woman...
Pepe, be honest with you, overall sum effect of those relationships where you guys live together. Hada or no? Tell me the truth.
Were they what?
Hada, right? What was the end result?
Well, I said an Arabic word I didn't understand.
Oh, you guys. What was the end result of those relationships, Pepe?
They obviously didn't work out,
Not only it didn't work out, it was bad. Shit. You know what I mean? Like, not just, just bad.
What's the...
not good.
Yeah, interreligious relationships or marriages usually don't end up pretty well. They end up usually collapsing.
Yeah. Catastrophe.
What's the Hebrew word? What's the Hebrew word for having a religious relationship with your dildo?
Your
are you bringing this shit up? But like, I agree with you. I do think that I don't know if you've heard me talk about it. I know I've talked a little bit about my love. I'm somebody who doesn't talk about relationships a lot because I like literally don't care anymore.
Or haven't.
But like I was like blessed with being like more attractive looking
Like the
than like
title
most
joint?
people.
You're the
Like,
cutest one in the world, Pepe. Obviously.
no, I'm not the cutest one in the world.
Okay, so you were blessed with good looks and
I wasted my fucking time, to be very blunt, getting pussy.
Ew.
And yes, fine. And yeah, I had to get antibiotics a few times. That actually happened. And so like I'm somebody who would like waste my time. It's just like pursuing like simple pleasures, like sticking your dick and nutting in a woman. I know it sounds very gross because it is gross.
That's why I have to get a dildo. It's more efficient.
And so, like, I was one of those people, and then it's just like, you have to understand, like, I'm somebody in my 40s. It's like, what do you have to show for it? You have these fleeting pursuits and pleasures, and it's just like, you got you nothing.
Nothing.
Yeah, absolutely. And so,
Pepe, even if you were successful in your job or pursuing your path or doing good work, still bullshit if you don't have love, right? Love is the thing.
yeah, I don't even believe in love, to be honest. And so, I'm somebody who, I'm obviously
That's
beyond
not
jaded.
true. I've seen it, prove it.
Okay,
Hey,
I love mine. She's the one source of light in my life, but other than that, like, I am not somebody who...
She is a source of light in her life.
I love mine.
Go join a church or something. What are you doing?
I don't know. They brought up shit about me.
How many people do we have in this room that are near 40 and have no kids like Pepe?
He wants to kill the girl. Of course, every guy who's ever met a Chaldean girl wants a Chaldean. Of course.
Pepe, you are like most people in this room. You're not unique or different. You really shouldn't feel bad. Average millennial.
Yeah, you're just more honest about it.
Yeah.
I swear.
I'm somebody who doesn't talk about this shit. I was somebody who was like kind of like a quote unquote like comedian / troll who, but then would also have like serious debates on certain issues. And then like I don't make rooms anymore because I don't want to be glued to my fucking phone. And like, okay, like I'll be honest about a lot of this shit. And do I think I'm